Alright, what is going on YouTube? This is your boy PXG Cash Hour coming at you with week 5 of the PFA League battles. I believe this is week 5, 2, 3. Yeah, well, it is week 5, week 5. Alright, so, as usual, your boy captaining the Puerto Rican Pan Champs. This week we're going up against, I'm gonna butcher this name terribly, but I'm going to give it my best. The Mississauga Mences? I don't know if I said that right. Being coached by Zigzagger 456. From the matchup screen, there's one poke that his team had that literally, not really scared me, but it kind of bothered me in terms of team building. And he also brought it with him, which is the Thunderous, because I don't really have anything that can really outspeed it, and with his ability in Prankster, he can status any of my pokes easily, which will probably hinder any of my attempts at stopping it. But overall, as usual, sit down, talk with people, see what probably the good option is. So one thing I'm gonna bring up that I didn't in the last video, at I believe it was after my battle last week, even though I recorded it the day after, we were able to do drops through the free agency should we wanted to, and we did make a drop, and you can see the drop right there in my team. I dropped Venusaur, which overall I never really wanted in the first place. It was more of everyone kind of took what I wanted, so this is something I kind of settled in with. But looking at it really, for what I needed it, Venusaur wasn't really going to cut it. So when I saw Gastrodon as an open option, and no one took it, I quickly grabbed the little slug, and now look at him all happily sitting there in our team. So these drops are going to be happening as far as I know, every couple of weeks. I believe every 4 weeks they'll happen or something like that. So I'll try and remember next time if I actually do one to actually mention it way early on. But for this week, brought in most of the regulars. Heatran, Tauros, Nidoking, Black Hiram, Gastrodon making his first appearance for the Puerto Rican Pan Champs, and Vera Wang. And as I said, anytime our Mill the Tauros die, another one takes the place. So now this week we have Mill number 2. Hopefully will live up to the mantle of the name of Mill. Now, Ziggy brings his Mega, which is Mega Aggron, his Tornadus Incarnate, Scrafty, Conkeldurr, Vaporeon, and Nidoqueen. So his team is pretty much balanced out too, like in terms of defenses, in terms of speed, everything is essentially really balanced out. So it's kind of like if we can eliminate prime opposition on each of our teams, it can either make or break the entire league battle overall. So let's see what happens. Week 5 of the PFA League, the Puerto Rican Pan Champ versus the Mississauga Mences. I lead off with Heatran. He leads off with Nidoqueen, and probably the one time I ever wished that Pokemon had an option to cancel replay. I did not really think this through and decided to leave Heatran in, and it died. So, without doing anything, Heatran dies. So, I go into Gastro, because I know my Gastro can take a physical, but he quickly recalls his Nidoqueen. Brings out Conkeldurr, and I know the reason why, because he's hoping I was going to go for Scald, but I am not. Because the last thing I want to do is give Conkeldurr any kind of status. So I recall my Gastro and I bring in Burrowang herself. He goes, I believe, and this proves it's guts, so I'm not going to do any status. He goes for the Drain Punch, because I do resist it. Burrowang can actually live that hit, even though Conkeldurr has a huge physical attack stat. He recalls it probably because he does not want anything bad to happen to Conkeldurr so early on. And as we already know, per the rules, Vera Wang is gonna Mega Evolve Bring out the nice black funeral dress. I go for the hyper voice, which Nidoking does resist it, but because I know I outspeed, I go for the attack again. And I finally get to reveal what the item was, which is the one thing that was kind of bothering me once Heat ran died. It was a Payapa Berry, which weakened psychic moves, but which didn't do much because Nidoking still went down. Brings out the Vaporeon. I know what this thing is gonna do, so I quickly taunt it. Because every Vaporeon that comes in that I ever fight wants to Toxic me. That's not happening. You can hold this Hyper Voice now. And Vaporeon retaliates back with a Scald. Of course, I was praying for no burns, because, you know, Scald is usually percent accurate with the burns. Recovers with the lefties. And of course, he's going to recall it because without use of his specialty move, he's going to let go. Brings out the Aggron. I go for the Hyper Voice. Does a nice amount of damage for something that's resisted. But of course I'm not staying in because who knows what attack he can actually hit me with. So I go for Kyurem because I'm kind of hoping he's going to attempt a status move. Please? Brings out the Mega. Goes straight for the Iron Head. Which does a lot because I am weak to Steel. And he quickly recalls his Aggron, which leads me to believe he probably didn't have a status move, did it? Or was assuming me do something to retaliate. I go for the Fire, which I was gonna try to kill the Aggron. Scrafty showing his amazing bulk. Took it like a champ. I lost damage because of Life Orb. But I go into Nidoking. Hopefully maybe some stabs may do some justice. I also didn't want to stay in and hope that Scrafty would kill me because that Drain Punch probably would have killed me. Go straight for the Sludge Wave. See if maybe some stab and Life Orb, and this thing is bulky as hell. He knocks off my Life Orb, making Nidoking not as strong. And you can tell by the Earth Power damage there. He goes for the Foul Play. Nidoking, while I use him especially, has a huge physical attack stat, so Nidoking goes down. We're at a 4-5 situation right now. Bring out Verawang again, who sings the Requiem for Funerals. And I knock out Scrafty, bringing us now tied at 4-4 each. And here comes Thundurus. So like I said, at this point I'm trying to avoid the statuses that I don't want to be hit by this prankster nonsense. And he goes for Fly. And at this point, once he hit Fly, I was like, I'm not sure what this is gonna do, so I wanted to recover to see, and also to receive what the item was. He is Life Orbed. I recover, and at this point I'm gonna go and Ice Beam it, but of course he runs away. Into the Conkeldurr, which he's hoping I Scald, and I know that for a fact. I know he wants me to give him a status very badly, so I'm going to oblige and give him a Freeze, which is the only one that Guts does not activate. And of course, it's time for the Requiem of Funerals. Verawang appears. Conkeldurr, who's still frozen, is gonna take the Hyper Voice and get knocked out. But we're at a 4-3 situation right now. Brings out the Thundurus again. Like I said, at this point I don't even know what this Thundurus is. It had Fly. So I go into Gastrodon, hoping, like I said again, some kind of status. He goes for Wild Charge. That's 2 physical moves. And every time he does it, he vanishes. Because at first I thought maybe he was Choice. Now at this point I have no idea what he's trying to do. So I go for Scald. I forgot this thing gets Water Absorbed. Because I rarely ever fight an Evolution. He goes, gets his lefty recovery. I switch out because I don't want to get status, so I'd rather let something that's gonna die anyway get the status. Kyurem, just in case, or unless he was on Scald, which I would have resisted it. Goes for the Toxic, and he did get it. poison, which is fine. I just need to do kind of one thing before my death. And it could probably take at least, probably 1 or 2 turns is all I really need. He goes for the protect. Can't really do anything about it. He knows what my play is at this point now. Infusion Bolt. He's essentially back at full health. And now I'm weaker than before. I literally need this one attack to land. He tries to go for the protect again to assert dominance and make me die from that, but Zekrom ain't about that life right now. Oh, Kyurem Black ain't about that life right now. The Zekrom in him was like, no. So Vaporeon goes down. And so does Kyurem from the poison. So we're at a 3-2 situation right now. So we bring on Mill 2. See if he can bring honor to the Mill name. Here comes the Thunderous again. I Intimidate, lowering the attack. And I realize now he's Defiant and not Prankster. And that's not good for me. So he reveals his superpower and instantly kills Mill number 2, who shamed the name of Mill. So we're at a 2-2 situation right now. Really close game at the moment. Life Orb's kicking in for him. I go into Gastro. He withdraws, as he's been doing the entire league. At this point I'm thinking he doesn't have anything to stop my Gastrodon. Brings out the Aggron. Of course, the Ice Beam, hopefully maybe I can get a Freeze again. But you know, Freezes are very hard to go. So he goes for the Earthquake. Earthquake won't really do much to me. So I go straight for the Earth Power, which should do a lot to him. But he is able to live. I do get my recovery off the leftovers. He goes for EQ again. And I go straight for the Scald, just in case he was going to try to switch out. He wanted me to Scald this entire game. He got the Scald now. Aggron goes down. So we're at a 2-1 situation right now. Gastro gets left these recoveries. At this point, we know I'm going to be clicking Ice Beam. Now he goes for Grass Knot, which was the last move in his arsenal. Gastro goes down. So at this point, unless I can live whatever he does with Verawang, this might be his game. He is natively faster than me already. He's faster than Mill, who's the closest thing on my team that's fast. He goes straight for Wild Charge. It's a nice stab move with the Life Orb boost. Verawang goes down. Nothing she can really do to take that hit. He takes damage in both recoil and the Life Orb recovery, but still, he's at a good 50% health. So we lose 1-0 to the Mississauga Mences and Ziggy. If had I known early on it was Defiant and not Prankster, I probably would have maybe done things a little bit differently, but I wasn't expecting a full physical Thunderous outside of, you know, Grass Knot, which is obviously special, which is also interesting considering how nothing on my team really would have been weak to Grass outside of the Gastro, which I literally decided seconds before to bring home. But in terms of speed, there was nothing really I could do. The only way I would have probably, even if I had a Heat Ren from dying early on in turn 1, probably wouldn't have done much considering my Heat Ren was especially defensive and Gastro was the physical. But yeah, it is what it is. You know how it goes. Ain't that right, Pokemon announcer?
And there goes the battle!
But yeah, next week we'll be battling Improved Meta Knight and the Trenton Thunderouses. And ironically, he also has a Thunderous, but it's the other form, so that's not much in terms of Defiant I have to worry about, or Prankster. So you already know, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I do highly appreciate it. Leave some comments if you want. But I will see you guys next week, and next week will be week 6 of the PFA League. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys then.